on, everyone? My name is Jemai McKinney, or you can just call me Juice, because that is my nickname. I want to talk about the 2020 NBA MVP race. And you know, it's so fascinating to me, man. I recognize LeBron James is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Is he the greatest? No, he's not. I went over that several times in several videos. I'm no longer doing a Michael Jordan versus LeBron James video because it is disrespectful to Michael Jordan. LeBron's great, but he's not the GOAT. And it's so funny and so fascinating to me how many LeBron James fanboys out there are, and just how LeBron James fans operate. They are so tied to this guy. There's so many bronzexuals out there that will do every single little thing to try to promote this guy being the greatest of all time, this guy being the MVP of the league, when he clearly does not have a case. I'm not trying to hate on LeBron James, but it is so fascinating to me how his biggest fans and how the media reacts to LeBron James. It's so fascinating to me, man. Now listen. When it comes to the MVP award, you have to realize something. The NBA MVP is not the best player in basketball. Example, Russell Westbrook has won an MVP. I've never considered him at any point in his career the best player in basketball. James Harden has won an MVP in the past. You know, I think that if he wins a title, you know, he has a good case to be the best player in basketball, but he's not the best player in the world, okay? Steve Nash has won 2 MVPs. I can argue that he probably did not deserve those 2 MVP awards, but again, he won those things. That doesn't mean Steve Nash was the best player in basketball. MVP is about who's having the best season and who's most valuable to their team in a singular year and who's having the best season overall. Understand that, people, okay? LeBron James is great, and I do think that the MVP race for 2020 is between LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I like what Russell Westbrook has done. I like what Luka Doncic has done. But it's between those two guys. But people, stop it. Stop trying to make the case for LeBron James. It is easily Giannis Antetokounmpo by a mile. It's not even close. It's not close. Giannis this year, more points per game, more rebounds per game, better field goal percentage, better effective field goal percentage. Not to mention, his team has the best record in basketball. Giannis leads his team in field goal percentage. He leads his team in points. He leads them in rebounds. He leads them in assists. Not to mention, he might be Defensive Player of the Year. If that's not your MVP, I question what basketball games you were watching, you know, before the pandemic hit, okay? Before the pandemic hit, if you think that anyone else besides Giannis Antetokounmpo is the NBA MVP of 2020, then you're either a hater, you're either a LeBron James fanboy that, you know, clings to him so much that you have to protect his legacy, or you're just not watching the games, okay? LeBron James is playing okay defense, but he's not one of the top 3 defenders in the league this season. Giannis has been one of the top 3 defenders in the league this season. In fact, LeBron James does not lead his team in points. He's not been the best defender on his own team. He's not been the best rebounder on his team. That guy is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has been the best defender for the Los Angeles Lakers this year. He leads them in rebounds. He leads them in points. Now, LeBron James does deserve some credit for being the point guard of the Los Angeles Lakers, you know, getting teammates involved, taking on that point guard role. And LeBron James is having a great season. And by the way, just because LeBron James is in his 17th season, that does not give him brownie points. I've heard so many people say, oh, LeBron James is in his 17th season. That's the reason he's MVP. That doesn't matter. Age does not matter. It doesn't. In the MVP race, age doesn't matter, guys. It's about who's having the best season. Giannis beats LeBron James in the analytical category. He beats him in the overall, you know, surface categories as far as points, you know, rebounds and things of that nature. And he's just been the better player in the regular season this year. Okay, now that does not mean Giannis is the best player in the NBA. That title either goes to Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, or Kevin Durant. I don't care who you put as the best player in the world. Those are the only 3 candidates at the moment in no particular order. That's just my opinion, though. Also, Does Giannis have anyone on his team like Anthony Davis? I like Chris Middleton, but he might be one of the 25 best players in basketball. Does he have a top 5 player at his side like LeBron James? I mean, it's very funny. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant were on the Golden State Warriors a couple years ago, and people literally canceled them from the MVP race because they said, "Oh, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are such great players. They're playing at such both a high level that they can't win the MVP." You want to know why? Because they're interchangeable. So how's it when LeBron James and Anthony Davis are both playing on the same team together and dominating, and both are pretty much interchangeable, even though I do think LeBron James has been more valuable to the Lakers as far as a leader goes, as far as a distributor of the basketball and things of that nature, even though Anthony Davis has done more of the scoring and has been the better defender and the better rebounder on the team, okay? But it's very funny how Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are basically just canceled from the MVP conversation because, well, they're both interchangeable, they're both playing at such a high level, neither can win the MVP. Yet, when LeBron James is not even the same season that Giannis Antetokounmpo is having, can somehow win the MVP because, he's doing it in his 17th season. Stop it, people. Stop it. And by the way, to be very clear, I'm not trying to criticize LeBron James. I like to crack my jokes about LeBron James because it's so funny how the media covers LeBron James and things of that nature, and just the overall, fanatic side of things as far as fans go for LeBron James. I mean, fan is short for fanatic. That's why I don't pay attention to how fans react to certain players at times, because I think they're delusional half the time. Okay, but either way, I'm a LeBron James realist. I'm not a guy that hates LeBron James by any stretch of the matter. There's no reason for me to hate LeBron James. I appreciate LeBron James. I recognize that he's arguably one of the 5 greatest basketball players of all time. Some people think that he's the 2nd greatest basketball player of all time. And honestly, I think you can actually make that argument. I really do firmly believe that. I'm not gonna knock you if you say that, okay? But at the same time, I'm not one of those LeBron James haters. And I'm not one of those LeBron James fanboys and bronzesexuals. I'm the one person, I've always said, that can talk about LeBron James from an objective standpoint, because I don't hate LeBron James, and I'm not a LeBron James fanboy or bronzesexual. I just call it like it is. Giannis Antetokounmpo has the best record in basketball. Giannis Antetokounmpo, from start to finish, has been the best player in the NBA this season. Not saying he's the best player overall if I were drafting players, but, at one point, it was Giannis versus Luka Doncic for MVP. At one point, it was Giannis versus James Harden for MVP. In the last, 2 to 3 months of the season, it's been Giannis versus LeBron James. Okay, that's pretty much how it's been throughout this entire season. Just in my opinion, I think that Russell Westbrook has kind of taken over the reins from James Harden and been the best player on that team down the stretch. So if you want to throw Russell Westbrook into the MVP conversation, that's totally fine with me. But Giannis has been the guy from start to finish. I admire what LeBron James has done. I admit that he's at least somewhat closed the gap on Giannis, from the last time we saw LeBron James playing, when LeBron James had beat the Clippers and beat the Milwaukee Bucks. I should say the Lakers did it, because LeBron James is not the team. He played very well in those games, but either way, I'm not going to spend much more time on this. LeBron James is not the 2020 NBA MVP. It is clearly Giannis Antetokounmpo, and anyone who thinks that LeBron James should win the MVP this year, I don't think they're watching the games. I think they're clearly biased towards LeBron James. Nothing against LeBron James, though. He's great, but Giannis is the MVP of 2020, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.